So 19 Keys is someone who has become a popular figurehead in the conscious community and somehow in the finance space as well. And he's done so without actually having done anything. And when I say anything, I mean on a professional level. I get people in the comments asking me all the time, what are my credentials? And I just kind of laugh. But I'm also quick to tell people that, listen, I don't have any. I'm just a guy who started a finance channel to share his journey and possibly help out someone who is currently where I was or where I used to be when I was clueless about finance and about investing and how money works. But this is my way of giving back to things that I've learned and continue to learn. And I do it with what I think is pretty sound advice. And the curious thing is that none of these people ever ask for the credentials of these guys, right? The guys that they follow and so much trust into, the guys that you see ask all the time, the guys that are asking you to buy their course for hundreds of thousands of dollars, $100 to buy a fucking hat with the sun and the moon on it. No one ever asks for the credentials of the very people that they're seeking advice from, but they want it from me. Cool. But in essence, this means that I have the same credentials as 19 Keys. I have the same credentials as EYL, except I don't charge people thousands of dollars for basic information that I believe is helpful. So here we are in the conscious community. And the conscious community is something that, in my opinion, you can easily fall victim to, especially if you are one of those people who have stepped into the woke society. Because a lot of their ideals revolve around spiritual concepts and emotional feelings. Let me say that again. People like 19 Keys focus on spiritual concepts and emotional feelings. And that's how you get caught up. And wouldn't you know, 19 Keys has been a part of the EYL brand before. Several times he's featured. And he was one of the 5 goof-ass members that made up the Hotep leader group formerly known as BWO. Oh, but y'all don't like to talk about BWO. You motherfuckers that high sign and salute these great thought leaders. Y'all don't like to talk about the BWO bullshit that was a complete fucking scam. And you notice I said formerly known as, because what do you know? The group doesn't exist anymore. They completely imploded. And does anyone want to take a wild guess as to what they broke up over?
Boy, here we go.
Those of you from JT Pocket Watcher, you already know he exposed this group for what it was. So many of you already know. It's the money. The money. The money. The one thing that none of them should have had a problem with, the money. But that just goes to show you that the money was all this shit was ever about. At the end of the day, it wasn't about coming together to create a community awareness. It was about creating another way to get money from y'all. Derek Grace, 19 Keys, EYL, Brother Polite, Boyce Watkins, Him 500, Ian Dunlap. All these black men had a lot of you go along to get along motherfuckers strung out on the culture. And hell, by the comments that I get, a lot of you are still strung out on the culture. Stuck on stupid. Caught up in the emotional feelings of it all, or the energy. Y'all spiritual people love to use that word. The energy is just so surreal. The energy is so amazing. The energy, black awareness, black power, black entrepreneurship, black knowledge, black wealth, black leaders, black. This is how they swindle you into the bullshit. Using a bunch of triggering words and terminology that makes you feel like if you don't join in on these special classes and courses that they offer that are going to open up your third eye and make you all millionaires by next Kwanzaa, then you're missing out on a great opportunity. But in reality, there'll just be another opportunity next week. And it'll likely be half off. Just ask Derek Grace. Many of you all that came over from the Pocket Watching with JT already know about the BWO group, as I said, and it failed miserably. So this isn't new to you. And be clear, I'm not telling anyone not to be spiritual or have a relationship with whatever entity or God that you believe in, but every voice that you hear from the tree line wasn't sent to lead you to the other side of the forest. Y'all got to pray for clarity, man. Pray for clarity. And then pray for clarity in the direction that you should go. So anyway, look, what I wanted to do with this episode was give the people 19 actual keys to a better financial lifestyle and building wealth right here for free. Are we ready? Are we ready? All right, let's start with number one. Number one, get a damn job. I don't care what the job is. If you got to get 2 jobs, then get 2 jobs. It seems like a simple and obvious thing, right? But so many of us today believe that we can just manifest millions of dollars and wake up tomorrow as an entrepreneur that owns $1 billion company just because we think positive thoughts. Stop it. Stop.
Stop it. Get some help.
If you can't even be real with yourself, then there's no way that you're ready for this journey. You got more work to do. Number 2, invest 15 to 20% of your income. If at all possible, invest more. Notice I said invest, not save. Now, I realize that for a lot of people, this is a tall task in today's economy, especially. Which, if this is you, then you have some problem solving to do, right? You either need more income, i.e. more hours at the job, or you need a second job, side hustle, training, to learn a higher skill set to get a better job, or you need to cut your monthly expenses somewhere. And for some people, you may need to do a combination of all of these things. I did. Which brings us to number 3. Something I had to learn. Monitor your expenses, people, please. There are so many people that have no clue where their money goes when they get their check. You cannot build any type of wealth or financial security while being completely ignorant of how much money you're spending to live your life on a daily basis. You're not Jeff Bezos. You don't have the luxury of not worrying about where your money is going. Document it. Number 4, build your emergency fund. An emergency fund is exactly what it sounds like. It's for emergencies. This is not your, oh, my friend called me and wants to go to a party and I don't have any money, so I'm just going to dip into my savings a little bit, right? This is not, oh, I want to go to this concert, so I'll just take out a couple hundred and treat myself. No. 2 to 3 months of your monthly expenses saved to cover your ass in case you lose your job or something else, God forbid, happens that interrupts your finances. Number 5, build and maintain discipline. This is mostly a mental thing, but you have to develop your daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly fundamentals. Stop being so easily influenced by things around you that throw you off track to where you run to your wallet and start spending money on stupid shit that you can't afford. Discipline. You need to have some discipline. Save with every check. Invest with every check. Learn, study, and grow as often as you can. Number 6, pay yourself first. Every check I get, I pay myself first, whether it's money going into a high yield savings account or into an investment. I get paid first. Me. I worked for it, so damn it, I'm going to get the first handout. Okay? Number 7, educate yourself on finance. We have to learn how to make money work for us instead of us always being in a state of working for money. Simple principle, but easily overlooked if you don't educate yourself on it. Number 8, do not look for someone to do for you what you can do for self. What does that mean? Look, I know everybody wants to become wealthy overnight with minimal work involved, but be real with yourself. Chances are that's not going to happen. So let's stop thinking that we can pay a fee to fast track our financial success. In other words, avoid these MLM scams, Ponzi schemes, and courses that charge you hundreds of thousands of dollars for basic information that you believe will make you a millionaire overnight. You can get a lot of information for free. You just can't be too lazy to seek it out, right? Number 9, once you've educated yourself on finance and how money works, then set up your financial goals. Simple. Number 10, once you've set your financial goals, you have to build an investing strategy. Build an investing strategy, right? Obviously, you need to do this very early on. The earlier, the better. Number 11, discipline, discipline, discipline. Stay focused and disciplined on your strategy. This is the time that you are sowing the seeds of wealth. You do not have the time nor the focus to spare for anything else that will disrupt you on this path. Which brings us to number 12. Surround yourself with the things that inspire and motivate you. This isn't some think positive vibes bullshit. This is actually changing something around you in your daily routine. For example, for me, I had a habit of waking up, grabbing my phone, and going straight to social media. How many of us do that shit right now, today? How many of us do it? So I made the daily conscious effort to instead open up Seeking Alpha, open up Yahoo Finance News, open up my portfolio. This is obviously going to be different for everyone, right? On an individual basis. But you need to know yourself and know the things that gets you moving and gets the best out of you. Number 13, avoid the debt cycle. Be mindful of bad habits and what you consume. Bad habits, we know what they are. Frivolous shopping, credit card charges, toxic relationships, etc. All that shit. Being mindful of what you consume, meaning too much social media, trendy things, and ideals that keep you broke. This includes consumer debt. Let me say that again for a lot of you. Your credit card is killing your finances. Debt is literally ruining your life. You get caught in the American consumer debt cycle of paying back loan money. That's all you do. You knew damn well you didn't have no business taking out another loan for college courses and you ain't did shit with the first loan. Hello? Can we be real? Why are you applying for more credit cards when you can't responsibly manage the ones that you have? The fuck is wrong with you? Get out of the debt cycle. Number 14. Find a compatible life partner. Yes. For some reason, when we think about finance, we don't really consider relationships as a big part of that. But it absolutely is. Finding a partner that has the same financial goals as you, or at the very least is willing to get on your program and see your vision, is a cheat code. It's an absolute cheat code. And this very short life that we have to live, simple math here, people. 2 people on the same path striving for the same goal is better than 1. I think we can all agree. Which leads us to number 15. Avoid drama and cultivate meaningful relationships. This is super important. Be clear. I'm not talking to those of you who have been married and divorced and had children in the process of the marriage. I realize breakdowns in marriages are a thing, and unfortunately, sometimes things don't work out and shit can get messy. I understand. I've experienced it firsthand. However, young men, if you are not ready for kids, then you need to double strap that shit up. Young ladies, you have a responsibility to either make that guy strap it up or you take the necessary steps to avoid conception. Let's stop having children in uncommitted, temporary-ass relationships. This right here has the ability to do years and decades worth of both emotional and financial damage to both parties, but especially men. Why especially men? Because the government and the court system at the end of the day is not on your side, men. So the likelihood of you getting some type of assistance or handouts in a co-parenting situation is slim to none. It's not going to happen. Not saying it doesn't happen, but it's very, very, very unlikely. So we have to make the conscious effort to make better decisions and cultivate meaningful relationships. So very important. Where are we at? Number 16. Patience is a virtue. Avoid FOMO. Listen, this is a marathon, not a race. There are going to be times when you feel like things are not coming along as fast as you would like them to. Your investment sometimes isn't going to grow at the speed or rate that you thought it would. And this is where you're going to have to exercise patience to avoid discouragement, and stay the course. Number 17, no concessions. And sharpen your skills. It's actually a two-parter. Sharpen your skill and no concessions. Study on how to become a better investor. Study on how to utilize the money that you do have access to, to get the best return out of your investments, because for some of you, it's not even about how much money you're making. It's about how you manage it. And when I say no concessions, that means do not allow space in your daily life for disruptions and stagnation. Invest and grow, grow, grow. Number 18, expect change. Things are going to change in life, in the market. Expect it and prepare as best you can. Sometimes it's not about the preparation, but being able to pivot when those things do happen so that the change doesn't completely reset the process or the progress that you've already made, right? Last but not least, number 19, stay committed. Study the blueprint that you have, that you've created, that you've made, and execute. I'm saying that again. Number 19, stay committed, study the blueprint that you have, and execute. Investing is a lifestyle. I said that. This isn't something you do overnight. So many of us already have the knowledge, right? And the keys to do better so that you can live better. But you won't execute because you're either too lazy or you're still operating from a position of I deserve. Oh, I deserve wealth. Fuck what you think you deserve. What have you earned? You, not your ancestors. You have to go get it. Your dedication to reaching that goal of financial freedom is the key to determining how fast you get there and how difficult it's going to be for you. You all know nobody's perfect. We're not going to always make the right decision 100% of the time. That goes for the life decisions as well as in the market. We're not always going to make the right investment, and that's okay because fortunately, it's set up to where you don't have to shoot 20 for 20 from the field to be effective or successful with this investing thing. And as a tip, maxing out your tax advantage accounts, i.e. your 401ks, your IRAs, and investing in index funds will do most of the work for you. You just got to see it through and stay consistent. You've created enough wealth for 19 Keys. You've created enough wealth for EYL. You've bought the school for Dr. Umar Johnson. It's time to pour into yourself and create something for your family. But look, that's going to do it for this one. I'm out of here. Remember to invest diligently, but more importantly, invest responsibly. We're about to get back to these stocks in a minute. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you all for watching. Later.
There's nowhere quite like where I'm from. When we were young,